Well, joining me now from Jerusalem is France 24's Annette Young. Annette, can Israel expect this to become a regular occurrence, these aid ships trying to breach the naval blockade of Gaza?
Well, there's certainly been much discussion about a number of ships, though, of course, at this stage they've yet to be spotted on the horizon in the last 6 weeks. The only one that has emerged in recent days is this Libyan ship. There was some discussion about Iran sending some ships and also Lebanon. As to whether that's still going to happen, certainly there's much talk about that. In the meantime, the Israelis are continuing with their preparations. They did learn a very big lesson from what happened on May 31st. In two ways and in two arenas, one being the way in which the military handled the whole affair, but the other being the diplomatic approach towards handling these types of incidents. The problem with the last one was that there wasn't enough diplomatic effort made in the run-up to that flotilla arriving at the end of May, which may have prevented what occurred on Monday, May 31, which of course led to the deaths of those 9 Turkish activists.
And is diplomacy what made the difference this time? Is that why this ship was diverted peacefully, whereas the Turkish ships sadly ended in bloodshed? Was that the difference here?
I think that was the case, very much so, because in the last 10 days or so there's been a sort of frantic amount of diplomatic effort by Israeli foreign ministry officials, not to mention government people as well, liaising not only with the Egyptians but with the EU, the United Nations, and even today we're hearing about a mysterious Austrian Jewish businessman, Martin Schlaff, who apparently has high-level contacts with Libyan government officials, also acting as a go-between between the Israelis and the Libyans to try and sort of convince the organisation to divert that ship to Gaza. And up until a few hours ago, it still wasn't clear. There was also some discussion that the ship, which had stalled earlier today some 80 miles off the Egyptian coastline, was not due to engine problems, but a last-minute attempt by the organisation to just hold up the whole effort until they saw where these diplomatic efforts would, or what they would result in. And at the end of the day, it seems like they decided to heed to Israel's request not to sail towards Gaza.
Sami El-Arish in Cairo, just very briefly, these ships, these charities say they want to put pressure on Israel to ease its blockade on Gaza. Egypt itself has a blockade on Gaza. Does this not put it in a difficult position? No, we've lost Samir. Okay, very briefly then with Annette. Annette, will Israel lift its blockade on Gaza if these ships continue, if this pressure continues?
At the moment, Prime Minister Netanyahu, as was stated in that report, is absolutely determined to keep that naval blockade in place. He argues that any easing of that blockade would possibly open up a shipping route for arms smuggling. That's something the Israelis have made it very clear that they don't want. And let's not forget, the Egyptians are also in the same position, have the same position on that as well. They're also very keen to ensure that Hamas is not getting access to extra arms or ammunition.